Hi, I'm Melissa Clark from the dining section. Guess what? Making your own caramel is really easy. There are two techniques that you could use to make caramel. One is called the dry method and one is called the wet method. With the wet method, you add a little water to the sugar, you let it dissolve, and then you let the water cook off. I'm going to show you the dry method because I think it's easier and it's faster. So what I've got here is a non-stick skillet. You can use any kind of skillet, and I've let it get really hot for about 5 minutes over a medium flame. I'm going to take about 1/3 cup of sugar and I'm going to evenly distribute it over the whole surface of the skillet. As it starts to melt, you just want to shake the pan to make sure that the sugar is evenly distributed over the heat. See how it's starting to melt all over? I'm going to add another 1/3 cup right on top. And I'm just going to swirl the pan. I'm not going to stir it. I'm just going to swirl it every once in a while to make sure that it's cooking evenly. So what's happening now is that the moisture in the sugar is cooking off and the sugar is starting to caramelize and get golden brown and delicious tasting. And we're just going to wait for that to happen. When it reaches the exact right color, basically the color of an Irish setter, it's ready. This here in the pan is your basic caramel. I'm going to turn it into caramel sauce by adding 3/4 cup of heavy cream. Now, when you do this, turn off the heat and stand back. It's going to be a little dramatic. Here, I'll show you. Now you want to just turn the heat back on, bring it to a simmer until the caramel starts to dissolve. What happens when you add the cold liquid is that it seizes up. So now it's just going to melt and then turn into that luscious caramel sauce that we all love. Once the caramel is dissolved and it's nice and smooth, I'm going to put in a little bit of vanilla extract, about a teaspoon, and then a pinch of salt. If you like a really rich butterscotch, you could throw in a couple of tablespoons of unsalted butter. Once your caramel starts to look very syrupy and thick, a little bit thinner than you're going to want it because it thickens as it cools, then it's ready. You just turn off the heat, pour it into a heat-proof container, and let it cool. And now you can pour it on whatever you like. I'm going to add it to some homemade strawberry ice cream. Strawberries, caramel, ice cream, what is better than that?